Go into this top 8 elimination bracket match, where we have got an Asuri Ditto, in fact, coming out here. So it's not even going to be the Olgrim coming out from Vem10 Kilo here against Ian. It's going to be Asuri matching Asuri. And in fact, is that... I had to like look at the bracket because I was like, "Is that Sack?"
It's not
it's
Sack.
Not Sack.
He's
literally using his loadout. He's literally using it.
I'm guessing the Katars are the same, and I'm gonna guess that the sword is gonna be the same. But absolutely, the skin and color is the exact same from what we saw from
I was
Sack
like,
previously.
and his name started with an S because of his clan. So I was like. No, okay, that's definitely Vem10 Kilo. Okay, back into Apocalypse. I mean, the play is already different enough. Like, seeing that neutral sig come out there, like, Sack would never delay neutral signature in that situation. But anyways, here we go. Ian up in the stock, but not in the game so far. Let's see who's able to get this first knockout here, as Vem10 Kilo is really working to get that damage through. Ian doesn't get the downlight punish, and Vem with that side sig does not get anything off of it. It could be a neutralite knockout for this first stock here in the Asuri Ditto so far. Let's see how it plays out.
So despite being a regular in many different community tournaments in South America, Ian is, somewhat relatively new to official tournaments. Has been entering tournaments since 2020, but it's like a total of 6 different official tournaments that Ian has entered in. Has never broken top 8 at the Autumn Championship at the end of last year. Ended up getting 9th. So breaking into top 8 for Ian that he's already done now is a monumental accomplishment.
Yeah, and it's interesting looking at some of the legends that he's got reported. You can check that out yourselves at stats.
I don't remember what the Toast. What's the what's the public one?
I think it's ProStats.Brawlhalla.com. Anyways, you can check this.
Yeah, Tazza said it correctly. It's prostats.brawlhalla.com.
So if you look there right now and you looked up Ian, you'd see that Asuri is nowhere to be seen. And it could just be one of those things where it's just like in preparation for the Winter Championship, a lot of players were like, okay, there are players, rightfully so, who will look at Brawlhalla competitively and go, if I believe this is the best character in the game, this is the character that I am preparing for the most important tournament coming up. And Asuri seems to be that character for a lot of players. Ian goes right down with that ground pound, gets punished by a ground pound from Vem10 Kilo. Nice job with the guitar, weapon throw into recovery. And in fact, let me take a look. It might just be that there was only one tournament, but I don't think Vem has got a lot of Asuri matches reported either. So both players just kind of looking at the situation like, okay, who's got the better Asuri going up in the head-to-head, and who's going to switch the other person off? So far, Ian looks like he's got the upper hand in this mirror match.
Already has Vem10 Kilo very much in the red. Floating, being careful not to move over to that sword too quickly. Picks that one up. It's not going to take too much. A D-Light side air you see is on the right side of the stage. If you're in the middle, you might be going for that D-Light recovery. But no, when you're on the right side or the left side, that close to the lateral horizontal blast zone, you want to be going for that D-Light side air. That's exactly what Ian did. You see the damage spread between the two pretty even between the Katars and the sword. It's going to be about 89 damage difference between those two.
Yeah, and here we go into the next game with Vem10 Kilo sticking with the Asuri into game number 2. I have yet to be convinced. We're going to Small Fortress of Lions here for this game 2, and I'm going to watch to see how this plays out so far, because Ian, who has been running with the character so far throughout the entire bracket, has really got the upper hand against Vem10 Kilo, and it's looking even more like that as he gets that first weapon. Let's see if Vem can answer back with that double neutralite and recovery. That's some good damage in return.
Now keep in mind, if you didn't happen to notice when the stats were on screen, Ian coming in at PR 21, meanwhile Vem10 Kilo coming in at PR 8. So that's a pretty big difference between these two players. Of course, you mentioned being familiar with Vem10 Kilo because we've seen him on stream so many times now here in these recent years. But Ian
really good
could likely be a player that we begin to see on stream just like we started to see Vem10 Kilo.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So far, I'm still raising an eyebrow at the mirror match pick, but you know what? I'm excited to see Ian doing this well, because when it comes to this matchup in particular, Ian looks like he's completely comfortable fighting against Vem's sword. Look at that neutral signature, punishing the gravity cancel neutral light coming out from Vem10 Kilo, gets the dunk and the ground pound to boot on the way back to stage. 1 minute, 2 stocks down. Ian's going to be like, honestly, Sparky, he's making very quick work of Vem's Asuri.
So in terms of the level legend, has the black color scheme, so it's at least 25, and it is actually a level 48, his third highest leveled legend, tied with his second place leveled legend. For Ian. First is Bodvar, second is Zol, third is Asuri.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and that's it definitely looks like it there. And I can see for those other two characters, depending on the time during last year, it's kind of like I could see where Bodvar, why that play rate may have dropped, and same thing for Zol. So here we go. We're still in game 2, and Ian has got complete control over this matchup. Vemtenkilo not going for the weapon switch over, just wants the guitars in this particular head-to-head, and Ian's just waiting out that wall slip. Sidelight comes through. Downsig doesn't hit, but the dare does. Goes back with that recovery. One nair. Can he get a second one? No, Downsig that time gets punished.
Not able to get around the corner in time to fast fall down below the incoming punishment from Vemtenkilo. Oh, goes for the ground pound. Let's see Vemtenkilo. They're going back and forth. No major edge guard coming out, just kind of one is above the other, then they kind of swap places and then just decide this isn't working for us. Vemtenkilo, no weapon toss there, making a connection. Nice. Ian barely getting back.
Picks up the sword. That Sarah's crazy. I can't believe the line of sight even activated there. Ian dodges down underneath the weapon throw a little too far. Can't make it back to the stage, and there's a chance here that Vemtenkilo brings it back with a reverse 3-stock. This was a huge lead from Ian coming into game number 2, and he has clawed his way back with the guitars. Ian now with the guitars himself isn't at a point where like a neutral sig will be enough, although okay, I stand corrected.
No way, did that just KO an orange Tazza?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, he caught him right at the edge of the stage, and I guess like looking at that Downsig, we'll see. We'll see what happens in a little bit. All of these were signature knockouts, and I think he used every single one.
That's yellow.
Yeah. So we got a Downsig, a neutral signature, and we're gonna see right here at the side of the stage. Maybe we'll see it. Goes in for that side sig, catches him, and that's just going to be the game there. Yeah, that was incredible. Really early knockouts. I'd actually like to see the damage numbers coming up from that.
He got 405 damage total from Ian, the winner of that game. He got a yellow stock. He got an orange stock. That's why that number is so efficient. 405 divided by 3. I'm going to have to pull out that calculator on this one. 405 divided by 3. That is 135 per stock. That is averaging an orange KO
and it's
every single stock.
It's definitely Katara's both sides here right now. A little bit more sword coming out from Vem, and Vem is actually going to be staying with the Asuri here all the way to game number 3. I like the adaptation. We can literally see it here on the graph with the stocks flying where it's like there's two really quick stocks from Vem, and then he almost brings the entire game back over half the duration of that match. And we'll see if he can bring it back here in this game number 3, because he's going to have to reverse 3-0. Not just like reverse 3-stock a single game. He's going to reverse 3-0 Ian. Stuffs the recovery once there, but Ian's able to make it back, and a ton of damage is coming out from him so far here in this game number 3.
Going over to the Demon Island, we do have a skin swap coming out from Ian off of the Apex Predator win. I mean, it seems like, based on this so far, the way he's up 2-0, the way he's up in this game as well, he is the Apex Predator. So really, the Apex Predator Asuri skin maybe should just be a picture of Ian's face as he swaps to the Katars here. Trying to put out that damage while he is yellow on his first stock, not in any danger whatsoever, even after taking back-to-back neutral lights from Vemtenkilo.
Ian's pressure off the side of the stage is so good. Dare forces him to dodge to the stage while he's sweating. He doesn't care about all these ground pounds. He's just weaving right through, getting the damage in while he's doing it. Up a stock, sidelight downlight, gets that dare off of the downlight as well. Ian's already brought Vemtenkilo into orange. Could tack on even more damage here. That downer brings him off, but he fast falls away from the Saren.
Oh, and Vemtenkilo
overcommits. And that's like, it's another one of those things where I'm just kind of like, Vem, the Asuri 3 games in a row. Ian has really been showing how much preparation that he's brought into this character, and I'm just kind of like, it's rare that I see the situation where I'm kind of like, yeah, it might be the meta pick, but also like, you might just not have it prepared enough.
Yeah, it's time to swap. I mean, he's not really. Most likely, he will not have the chance to swap off of that. There is the potential for the reverse 3. We saw the potential last game. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not statistically likely, but it is certainly possible. Now, Vemtenkilo is in the red.
That's the start.
And he is likely going to be gone after this.
Nice nair.
Bottom side of the nair, and that is a 3-0 with the final game being a 2-stock in favor of Ian.
Yeah, that was brutal. Less than 200 damage coming in from Vemtenkilo as well. Just a solid, like 464 damage to the Katars. Snowy, take a screenshot of that one.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
exactly.
Snowy. Take a screenshot of that one. Tweet that one out.
I think that one's even more intense than that tweet that we're talking about. Anyways, wow, Ian really great with the Asuri, and I'm like, I want to see how far he can make it through this bracket. Whether that was just like, I'm skeptical. I do not think, at least from what I watched, that Vemtequilo had the most prepared Asuri by comparison to Ian in that matchup. And I'm looking at that, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to use that as a way to.